Because now it's very obvious I'm looking at myself right now.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only person who stares at himself in his little box while the show's going.
Yeah, see, that's why I have to I make my box as small as it goes.
That's what she said.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, well, we're recording. So, hello everybody.
Hey!
Welcome back. Finally, we are back from our hiatus.
Yes.
And we're here to bring you guys another amazing episode of the Geek Dad Report. So I guess we should just get this son of a bitch going. What do you say, Ryan?
I think that sounds like a very good idea because we've done a lot of setup already. So
Yeah. On that note.
we're ready to roll.
Nope. Hang on. There you go.
Oh,
Found it. Right one. Oh, you can see my phone.
Oh, we the bad boys. Sip the game. Yeah. C's, the MC7, for the aces. Let's go.
Yeah. That's right.
oh, Finn was ready just to start
Yeah, I
breaking
usually
it.
play with my lightsaber or something, but I'm working on a new setup here, so I was, you could see my awesome setup, people. Look at that. There's my our great music player for the show, holding it right up to the microphone.
We're one day soon. We will have the whole there'll be a producer, and we'll be in a booth.
Yeah, we'll be the producers.
We'll
No,
have
but
one
we
of
are
those
gonna
giant
upgrade.
Push buttons on.
Yeah, that'll be for the Geek Dad Report season 2. I think that's going to be coming more towards this summer, late spring. But right now we are finally back after a 3-week and one extra unexpected week of hiatus, and we are back to bring you guys Geek Dad Report season 1.5, the back
We're
nine.
just calling it season 2 because we're waiting for something special to happen before it'll officially be season 2.
Well, this is special. Don't downplay our show, Ryan. It's always special.
Okay, special list.
We have been picked up for the back nine of season 1 by Pod Hell. They picked us up for the back nine.
Thank you, Pod Hell Media.
Thank you, Pod Hell Media. We appreciate the additional funding for 9 more episodes. Yeah. It'll be more than 9 episodes.
Chris that runs Pod Hell Media will he gives you a gentle pat on the butt, and that's kind of like.
That's true. We should probably plug him.
Chris at what do they call Utah Outcast?
Yeah, our sister show Utah Outcast on. You can also find them on Pod Hell Network. They are I don't know what I would say. They're always preaching against the evils of religion. People, they're fighting the good fight. So if you
the network, they're bringing another geek show.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of new things coming to the network. So keep an eye out for the Pod Hell soon to be expanding network. So I think that's all our promotional plug stuff for the day.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. We did our civic duty. But that was to bring us. So like me and Ryan said, we had 3 weeks off, and we took some holiday time that we needed and refreshed ourselves and spent some time with the family. And we actually did come back last week, so we apologize that there was no new show, but we had a little YouTube hiccup, I guess you would call it.
There was someone who found our content very inappropriate, apparently.
Yeah, I woke up, we posted the show last week.
Half.
We posted the show last week about midnight, and I woke up about 1 o'clock in the morning to an email saying that we have been flagged for inappropriate content. So we have officially been flagged for inappropriate content. I feel like I should have party poppers. Woo! We have arrived.
We should celebrate, or we should be pissed off. But did you have a second glass?
No, it's the same glass. I just poured more stuff into it. But we would like to take this opportunity to thank the anonymous person who found our show and bravely said this content will not stand. Yes. Stood up in his computer chair or her computer chair and hit the flag button. That takes great courage to find something that you don't find appropriate and very anonymously say, get this shit off my internet. I don't want to see it no more. So thank you. Me and Ryan have learned a lot, especially since YouTube has been so fast in getting back to us about what we did wrong, which we still are waiting to hear. And, we have learned our valuable lesson, and we shall not say things like fucker or eat my ass anymore.
I bet it's the same mom that's trying to get a PG-13 version of Deadpool out in the theater so that her stupid
I feel
fucking
like
kid
it's the same people who signed the petition to get George Lucas back directing Star Wars again. I think it's all 10 people who signed all the same petitions and then flagged our show for inappropriate content. So we are sorry, YouTube. We promise that we will not say bad words like fucker or son of a bitch. And Ryan promises to not pull out his penis again.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened during the last episode.
It was so weird. Then, like, you reached over to grab the Red Hulk and then your penis was out. It was so strange. I just don't even...
Yes.
But,
that's what I kind of get for not wearing pants or underwear when I'm doing the show. So I guess I just shouldn't really be standing up at any point. So
yeah, well, I was gonna say we're gonna segue to our Geek Dad moment of the week, but I feel like we need a palate cleanse before we can't go from penis to talking about.
You did that, not me, by the way.
Yeah, I did. So. Ugh, that's pretty bad. So anyway, back to the YouTube thing. So we are we're sorry we didn't have a new episode. We're gonna have this one up tomorrow, sometime.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll just say it. Welcome, everybody, to episode 41.5 of the Geek Dad Report. We are back again, and we're the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to bringing all your Geek Dad and Mom experiences to you so that you cannot feel alone and realize that you are not the only person out there with children and, I don't know, things you enjoy.
You're not the only one going insane because you have children.
Yeah, you're not crazy. We're all crazy. We're in this together. And hopefully we can fill your mind with a little bit of pop culture, knowledge, and news, and hopefully give you a chance to nerd out with the rest of us and, still feel relevant, even though we're all old now and our kids hate us.
I don't know. My kids think I'm cool.
Oh, shut up. They secretly hate you. They're plotting your death right now as we speak. Every now and then I see a noose coming down from the ceiling. Watch out, Ryan. It's coming for you.
Oh, shit.
All right, so on that note, that's a much better transition.
Yeah.
We are going to bring, in our time off, me and Ryan didn't just sit around getting fat, drinking spiked eggnog. We did do that, but...
Yeah, I did a lot of that.
We also had meetings, and we talked about shit, and we planned for the future, and our future on this show, people, is going to be bright. So you, our faithful 50, is what you're going to be called now.
The Faithful 50?
The Faithful 50. You guys are the bedrock, the foundation that we are going to lay, and we are going to build our castle, and we are going to reign supreme over the internet.
And the Faithful 50 will be justly rewarded.
Faithful 50 will be well rewarded. You will all be knighted, and you will have your own mini castles. Not as big as our castle, but it'll be a nice castle. It'll have air conditioning. It won't have like palace people like we're going to have in a big moat. We're going to have a moat with a dragon.
Yes.
And maybe
and people that just carry us places.
But you Faithful 50 are going to have your own mini moats. So, but we'd like to thank you guys for everything, all the support you've given us. And we have, well, I totally just ran straight. We have been planning things for the future. So needless to say, that was our long-winded way of saying that we have some cool things coming. And hopefully you guys will stick around. And then the show by the end of this year will be awesome.
Yes. So how about we just drop into our dad moments of the week?
We are. But you were going to, well, what I was going to say, let me finish my long-winded explanation that I'm giving here.
I got an extra pillow down here.
Take a nap. Shut up. This is my time, Ryan. This is my time. All right. I lied. It's our time. Basically, that was my long-winded way of saying that we have some awesome new segments that we're going to be bringing you guys and me and Ryan discuss. So one of them is going to be the Geek Dad Moment of the Week. Me and Ryan are going to talk about awesome experiences that we have with our kids every single week. And we want to bring this show back to being geek parents. So... Ryan, sleepy poo, wake up. It's your turn to talk.
Oh, God, that pillow smells terrible.
All right, no more splaining. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. I was giving the little disclaimer information part. All right, so for our Geek Dad Moment of the Week, Ryan, why don't you tell the people what our Geek Dad Moment of the Week is going to be?
Dad Moments of the Week, it's just going to be, there's a lot of stuff that happens, between the episodes that either make us proud, be a parent, or not so proud. It can be anything, and we wanted to bring more of the dad aspect of the show back, that we kind of had at the very beginning, and so we decided that we're gonna make every week we're gonna try and have at least something.
Yeah.
So just to bring back that parenting.
Well, and this week this over the holiday, me and Ryan had a chance to we both took our oldest children to go see Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So we figured we'd take a quick minute and tell our experience of how that was. So I will let you go first, Ryan, since I've talked already way too much.
We went to we kind of made a day out of it. We call it the boys only day, and just went and got a pizza at the food court. Freaking amazing pizza, by the way. And did all the fun stuff. Went to the arcade that's at the mall. I went to GameStop, and he wanted to play with would have had like the stand-up Wii U's and the PlayStation 4 and all that stuff. So he started playing He was playing some kid on Super Smash Brothers on the Wii U, and of course, being Lincoln, he always picks Link as one of his favorite Smash Brothers characters. So I just sat and stood behind him, watched him play this kid, just totally schooled the crap out of the kid. Just stood there, like nodding, like, yeah, you beat the crap out of that kid that you don't even know, and that's what he gets for picking little Mike from Punch Out. Don't mess with Link. So
it is a proud moment as a father to watch your child beat the crap out of somebody on a video game.
Oh yeah, especially a button masher, because Lincoln, he tries to figure out, back, A, and he makes it, do stuff. The other kid's just hitting all the buttons.
Nice.
So it was fun to watch Lincoln, try and figure out combos and stuff. Nice. And then we went and saw Star Wars, and
yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, what's that?
What do you think?
He didn't really have much to say throughout the whole. The only time he leaned over and asked me something was at the very beginning. That old guy, that's with Poe. He's like, "Is that Luke Skywalker?" No, that's not Luke Skywalker. And you'll know him when you see him. Okay, but then the whole rest of the movie, he just sat there with his mouth open, and when it was over and the credits started to roll, he turned to me and said, "Dad, that's my favorite movie ever, all time. Any movie I've ever seen, that's my favorite movie ever." So I was just like, yes. So now I got a little Star Wars buddy. My wife went and saw it the first time with me, and she was interested just to kind of see what it was all about, but she wasn't really into it, how we are. So now I got my little Star Wars buddy, and he asked me, "Oh, well, when's the next one?" Because we spent all Christmas break, watching the episodes 4, 5, and 6, because I don't acknowledge the prequels. And he was, "Oh, when's the next one come out?" I said, "Well, that's gonna be in a year." It's doing all the screaming and why? He's because he in the time of the week he watched 4, 5, 6, 7. So he got to watch the main core of the old ones and the new one. Now he's got to wait. But I'm excited. I got a Star Wars buddy to go to all the movies with me now, and so now we're just kind of waiting until my daughter's a little bit older so she can kind of get into it too. So
nice. Well, that is the beauty. That is the beauty of what Disney has done. It is allowing us to corrupt our children into hardcore Star Wars. But we're not even to corrupt them. They're seeing it and just loving it. So it's thank you, Disney, for bringing it back. But my story is kind of mostly like yours. I mean, me and my oldest daughter, we did a daddy-daughter date. She's 6, and we went and got some food, and we went and saw the movie, and it was. So I'm gonna give a little spoilers. Tell my fun story. I have to spoil it. We've talked at length about this. We did a whole Star Wars special. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out. But so you've been warned. This is going to be a spoiler story. So if you have not seen Star Wars, you must live in some place that doesn't have movies.
You haven't seen it.
But yeah. So anyway, so we go see the movie, and she loves it. She's watching it, and I'm. This is the third time I saw it, so I actually spent a lot of time kind of watching her reaction. I just wanted to see how she liked the movie, and she really liked it. And for the most part, she sat there and she didn't talk, and she was just watching it, and that's how you know it's a good movie. It's because she's a fidgety kind of kid. Obviously, she's 6, but she's not moving the whole time. She's watching it. She's just like, "Oh, this is cool. This is great." But obviously, she loved Rey, and her favorite parts of the movie were there's 2 stories that was great. The best part is when Rey does the Jedi mind trick for the first time, she grabs me by the arm. She's like, Daddy, she's using the Force. She's using the Force. She was so excited that Rey was using the Force. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. It was fun just watching how excited she was about it. But the best part for me was we're watching the movie, and when Han walks out to Kylo, she looks at me, she's like, Daddy, why is he walking out there? His son's going to stab him. And I was like, yeah, just watch the movie, honey. And so, you know, he gets stabbed, and as soon as Han gets stabbed, she looks at me, she's like, why did he do that? I told him not to do it. I was like, oh, you're funny. And so she's sitting there, and she tells me that, and then now, and at this point now, she's like standing up, because she's like on her edge of her seat just watching this. And then all of a sudden, when Chewie loses it and starts shooting, and he shoots Kylo and shoots the Stormtrooper, she goes, yeah, that's right, Chewie, you get him. He was your best friend and they killed him. You get them. Top of her lungs. Everybody in the theater is like looking back and just like, they're all, you know, in the theater when you're watching a movie, it's kind of annoying when kids are talking and stuff, but
yeah,
every single person thought that was her, they thought it was hilarious.
Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, it's Star Wars, and every person inside was thinking the same thing. And the fact that my 6-year-old daughter stood up and vocalized it, I was a very proud father. It was great. So then I took her to the store and let her pick out a Star Wars toy. And hey, guess what? She couldn't find a Rey, because we'll talk about that later. But she got a cool Finn action figure, and now she carries it around throughout the house. It's one of the ones kind of like my Kylo up here. So it's a 12-inch one, and so she takes them, and she has them at the table, and then when he eats dinner, and then she made a bed for him, so he sleeps. She puts him in bed at night.
Oh wow, he's got a bed and everything.
Oh yeah, man, she's hook, line, and sinker. And so I told her,
is his bed in the bathroom because he works in sanitation?
Yeah. Oh God, don't get me started on that movie. Oh, we could talk for hours about it. But you know, I told her I said, you know, I have 6 other Star Wars movies. And she's like, are you kidding me? Because we watched Star Wars Rebels together, and she really likes Rebels. But when she found out I had there were 6 more movies that I had on Blu-ray, she was like, oh my God. And then the best part is she goes, Daddy, she goes, what? She goes, you're the best daddy ever. And I'm like, oh, thanks, honey. And she's like, but she goes, you have to promise me something. I'm like, what? She goes, you have to promise me that you'll take me every single time a new Star Wars movie comes out, you'll take me to go see it. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I will, but only for you.
Yeah. If you twisting my arm.
You're twisting my arm here, so.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So that was fun. That was a cool thing. So, yes, like I said earlier, thank you, Disney. We thank you for bringing Star Wars back, because it's a great, wonderful thing that we can share with our children from our childhood. So, if anybody else is taking their kids to see Star Wars and you want to share your story, feel free to share it. We'll hit us up on Facebook or whatever, and we'd be more than happy to tell your story on air if it's something awesome that you want to share, or you just want to talk to us. We would love to hear other parents' experiences with their kids, because this is what it is all about, people. This is the fun part of being a parent. So,
yeah, it's the creating memories.
Yep. So on that, we have a ton of news, because we have news from last week that is pretty cool news that we had to. I don't know. They got chopped by YouTube. An anonymous user 119. Thanks a lot, anonymous user. Nice. So we're gonna try and blow through all this stuff. So we'll get. So I'm gonna go through this speedy fast. There's a lot of stuff to cover.
I'm gonna remain quiet for a large segment of this, just because like I can scroll my mouse wheel really far. And now I'm at the end of the news.
We are gonna test how fast I can actually truly talk. So, one of the things that because we are now being monitored and watched by YouTube, like the Big Brother watching us, we are no longer going to be allegedly sampling alleged Vanilla Ice track for Ninja News. Me and Ryan are just going to serenade you with our own musical interlude. So, on that note, Ryan, I think it's time for Ninja News.
Ninja News.
Ninja News.
Go Ninja, go.
Go Ninja, go. Go. Hiya. Wah! Ninja News time. Wah! I feel like that was way better than what we were playing earlier.
You know, and it was a lot faster.
It was way faster. Yeah. And there's no royalties that we got to pay, so that's amazing.
You know what? Fuck you, Vanilla Ice.
Wow, that's not very nice. He is unconsciously sponsored our show for like a while now.
Being, Mark Twain.
Anyway, moving on. All right, so Ninja News time, people. Star Wars Episode 8 has been pushed back. This is terrible news. Not really.
No.
Yeah, it was scheduled to come out. It was scheduled to come out, I believe, in May of 2017. It is being pushed back to December 15th. There's a lot of speculation why. my guess is that it is a fertile ground to make a ton of money, considering The Force Awakens has made almost $2 billion. There's no competition in December, so why compete with itself? They have a few Marvel movies coming out over the summer, so but not really big news, just we have to wait 6 more months. The good news is we do have Rogue One coming out this year, and the new rumor is that Darth Vader will be one of the major villains in Rogue One. So supposedly they've been making, somebody's reporting that studio has made Darth Vader replica costumes that look exactly like A New Hope, so I don't know. And that James Earl Jones has come in and recorded his line, so it would be awesome, and he's definitely still alive, and it would be, personally, I think it would be a cool way to bring Darth Vader back without having to, bring him back in later on. Poe Dameron, one of the awesome heroes in A Force Awakens, is getting his own comic book series. So if you felt you did not get to explore his character nearly enough, Marvel has the answer for you. He's getting an ongoing series, and yes, it will also be starring BB-8. It will. The story will take place before the Force Awakens. It will show him becoming a pilot, joining the Resistance, and basically his escapades to becoming the greatest pilot in the Resistance. So we'll find out all about that. So if you have been trying to buy toys like we talked about earlier, and you have been horribly trying to find a Rey doll, well, there's a reason why you haven't been, because everyone dropped the goddamn ball and did not put Rey in the marketing like they should have when it comes to toys and everything else. Me and Ryan told the toy execs many times, hey, include Rey. Look, I finally found one. I found one. Oh, and she fell down. All right. But she came with this cool BB-8 doll. Look at that. I'm gonna get her.
There was one article that said there was the toy creating insider who remained anonymous, but Disney specifically told the toy makers, the Disney executive told toy makers that Rey
how cool that is
not be featured prominently.
Yeah. Well, once again, because they still believe that stupid old belief that only boys play with boy toys.
Yeah, they said boys don't want to buy girls action figures.
Yeah, and they would not even include Rey in multiple packs because boys would not. They believe that boys would not buy toys that included a female toy. You know what, guys? Listen, executives, this is not the 50s, okay? Women have rights. Women can vote now. Women don't just sit around and make sandwiches for us men. They do awesome things, and one of the things they do that's so awesome is they like to play with goddamn toys, and they like to buy them, and they like to play with them. And you know who else likes to play with Rey dolls? This guy. Okay, guy, right here. Look at that.
Yeah, I kind of want to buy one just for my desk.
Look at that sweet BB-8 it comes with. Look at that.
And my son would buy a pack that had a Rey thing in it. Because
exactly, guys.
He likes freaking Star Wars now.
This is not the 50s, okay? Now, you know what? I'm sure back in the 50s, even girls back then would love to play with action figures. But you know what? Because stupid people make stupid rules and stupid ideas, we don't get cool action figures. But the good news is that the second wave of toys that are coming out is going to be predominantly featuring female characters. They're going to have Rey. They're going to have Leia. They're going to have a lot of the female characters from the movies. So, better late than never, I guess, but still, it's ridiculous. I mean, this goes back to, we talked about it, Avengers. I could not find my daughter a Scarlet Witch doll, a Black Widow doll. She loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I could not find her a Gamora doll. Guys, it's way past time that we stop doing this. We need to start making female action figures for everybody. Girls love stuff. So if any of you toy executives are listening to the Geek Dad Report right now, get your shit together.
You better not be flagging us.
Quit being misogynistic, old school idiots, and let's do the right thing, people. Let's do the right thing. Let's get this going. I know my daughter would have a ton of Avenger toys. She specifically told me, I don't want any Avenger toys. There's no Scarlet Witch or Black Widow. But the good news is, a little side note is Captain America Civil War. Hopefully Marvel, Disney, all these people have learned from their mistakes. They have already announced their toy line for Civil War, and featured predominantly is one Black Widow. So,
nice.
Finally. But yeah, anyway, so if you're waiting for your cool Rey doll, I've been every time I go to Fred Meyer or Target, I've been looking. They never have them. They finally started getting some more shipments in. So this is the Black series. A little more spendy. This is $20, but she does come with BB-8, so it's well worth the $20. You basically get 2 figures in one. So it looks like the stores are starting to finally stock more.
With the staff?
Well, yeah, and she comes with a little staff. I'm still waiting for the lightsaber one. But I can understand why they haven't made that one yet, because that is a spoiler, but
Yeah.
the one female action figure from Star Wars is finally on the shelves a little bit, so if you're looking for one, I know I found one. They had a bunch there, so anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Disney has reportedly narrowed down the thousands of actors that they went through to try and find the next Han Solo to just a handful. So some of the notables are Miles Teller, who was in Fantastic Crappy Four, Dave Franco, who is the other Franco,
Yeah.
Logan Lerman, who I have no idea who it is, Blake Jenner, and Scott Eastwood. I think one of those guys played the Maze Runner, and Scott Eastwood actually is Clint Eastwood's son. I think he's going to be the one who actually gets the nod for Han Solo, but these are reportedly the few finalists that they're kind of down to. More than likely, it's going to end up being somebody we've never heard of, but hey.
Probably.
But we'll see. Considering, like we reported earlier, that they had interviewed, I think, over 1,000 people. Or, screen tested over 1,000 people. We'll see. So moving on. So some Fox news. Gambit is coming out later this year, and I have no faith in this movie. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
But it starts production in March, so hopefully by probably late April we'll get some kind of a teaser, and probably by the summer we'll have a full-blown trailer, so I don't know. One movie that I am excited for is Deadpool. Well, there's all kinds of cool new marketing it's been doing. We won't even go into depth. If you want to see something that will make your day, go Google, go hit YouTube and hit the Australian Day Thank You by Deadpool. Came out today. Really funny.
It was good.
And he did a whole bunch of cool billboards.
On our web, you can see it on our Facebook.
We threw it up on our Facebook. But I will say, apparently China is not going to allow Deadpool in its country. It has been deemed too violent, too vulgar, and too bad to play in China. So Deadpool, if you're wondering if this is going to be one of those kind of like, it's rated R, but it's like a hard PG-13, no, this is a hard R movie. And apparently they surprised, they had a couple fan shows in, I think, LA and New York, where they were going to do some Deadpool stuff, and they surprised fans by actually showing the entire movie of Deadpool.
The rough cut. There wasn't the final cut. But...
Oh, was it the rough cut? Well, anyway, so far all the reviews coming out of it is just beaming. People are just raving about this movie. So comes out February 14th, Valentine's Day. Trick your wife into going as a romantic movie, and you might not get any nookie later, but you're definitely gonna get to see Deadpool, so that'd be a plus.
Yeah.
Might be worth it.
Deadpool nookie.
Yeah, whatever. Creed 2 is coming out November 17th. If you like Creed 1, I never saw it. I know a lot of people are mad he got snubbed by the Oscars, which is probably legit.
Hey, Stallone's getting
he got best supporting actor.
Supporting.
But the director, the main actor, and the movie got just snubbed by the Oscars. Anyway, if you like that movie, the sequel is coming out November 17th, and rumor is somehow they're going to resurrect Apollo. Not really sure exactly how that's going to work, but hey, whatever. I'm sure somebody is going to figure it out better than me. Mm-hmm. Avengers Infinity War apparently is going to unite the entire Marvel Universe. Yes, the Russo brothers have confirmed that 67 Marvel characters are in play for this movie.
And they're saying a lot of it's going to be like something big going to be happening. You'll see a lot of like different people like looking up, or that kind of thing. And they're not all going to have like an acting or a speaking role, but there'll just be a lot of like, shit, there's that guy and that guy and that guy, and then they'll just cut, to something else. But
who cares?
That's what they're saying. I don't know. Who cares? We're going to see.
It's going to be awesome. We have that to look forward to summer of 2018 and 2019. So look forward to that. DC Universe Online is a pretty cool RPG game that came out a long time ago on PlayStation 4. Basically, you can create your own superhero and interact in the world of DC. It is actually finally coming to Xbox One. So if you've ever, like myself, watched people jealously play it on the PlayStation and wish you could have it but refuse to convert to PlayStation, well, guess what? We're finally going to get it. The other big news about that game is that apparently it's going to start cross-platforming between PC and the consoles, so you're going to be able to play against and with people on computers. So it's an MMO. Might be fun.
Yeah. Brian and I will get it, and we're going to start our own super group.
Oh, that's true.
And if you want to be a part of the Geek Dad super group,
the Geek Dad Super Squad.
Yeah, Geek Dad Super Squad.
Oh, boom. Yeah, that shit just happened, people. If one of you sons of bitches takes that name, I swear to God, we're going to
punch you in the face.
No, we won't do that because we do not condone violence. But we will be very angry and stare harshly.
I'm gonna be a puncher guy.
We're gonna stare harshly.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
And we're gonna nerd shame you. Anyway, but
yes.
So that's coming out this spring. So look for that, and look for the Geek Dad Super Squad. We are definitely starting that. Speaking of DC news, Batman the Killing Joke, the next DC animated, well, not the next, I think the next one is Bad Blood, but the next one that they're currently developing right now, the Killing Joke animated movie, apparently it's going to have a whole bunch of new material that wasn't in the comic book, which actually makes sense. The comic book was only about 45 pages, so not nearly enough content for a full hour-and-a-half movie, or hour and 15 minutes is what those usually are. But they will be adding some new content onto it to fully expand the story, but Bruce Timm, the producer, said, don't worry, it's still going to be the story that everybody knows and loves. It's just going to have, well, not everybody loves, but everybody knows. But it's going to have additional content. So the movie is set to debut this year. They're going to show it at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, we're not. Well, if you're going, you can take us, and then we'll all watch it together. But if you don't and you watch it, let us know how it is, and I'm sure we'll hear plenty about it. But look forward to that. Bad Blood, DC Bad Blood. I'm sure me and Ryan will do a full review on the Geek Dad Report when that drops, I believe, this month.
They sent me a Blu-ray copy, so
yeah, I think it comes out this month or next month.
Next month, March.
It's March? Okay, so when that comes out in March, me and Ryan will definitely review it for everyone. A little bit of DC TV news. Robbie Amell, who recently, spoiler alert, died on Arrow, or Flash. He played Firestorm. Apparently he's coming back. He's going to be Deathstorm, who's the evil version of Firestorm from, I don't know, Blackest Night comic series. That'd be cool. Oh. Whatever. Also coming to the DC universe is DC's Legends of Tomorrow is going to be bringing Jonah Hex into their universe. So if you don't know who Jonah Hex is, he's a Western supernatural gunslinger. Like half his face is melted off. He's a pretty cool character. But he's going to be... That
started yesterday, right?
Yeah, that started today.
Oh, tonight.
Yeah, it's on right now. But I'll probably try and watch it after we get done recording. But that is out, and we will... Me and Ryan will actually give you... We'll try... We both pledged to watch it and give you guys a rundown of how it is next week on the show. So, a little bit of fun news. Let's see. What else we got? Amber Heard is in talks to play Mira, Aquaman's wife, in the new Justice League movie. So we actually have a lot of Justice League news we're going to talk about later in the show, so we won't talk too much about that, but yeah, she looks the part. Be cool. DC's Teen Titans series is officially dead for TNT. They've been developing the show. Apparently they didn't, the network passed on it. They didn't like the pilot. They said the show wasn't strong enough. I don't know. I don't know if they, I'm starting to think maybe TNT just didn't want to dip their toes in the superhero TV realm, but if you're looking forward to Teen Titans, that is not going to happen. Sorry. A couple shows that are going to be coming back, though, are Showtime has renewed Shameless. So if you're a big Shameless fan, I know it's been going on for 5 or 6 seasons. So I know a lot of friends who like it. I have not had a chance to watch it yet, but I've heard it is good. Fox has also renewed Scream Queens and Empire. So if you're fans of those shows, they're coming back for another season. If you're a fan of 24 and Jack Bauer, well, you're going to be half happy. 24 is coming back without Jack Bauer.
That's fine.
Yeah, so 24 Legacy, the pilot has been ordered. Doesn't mean it's going to go to series. They'll probably cast somebody new and see how much everybody likes it and then go from there. But I'm guessing it's going to be the same universe and world, just with Jack Bauer's probably yelling at somebody off camera.
A lot of clock ticking.
Sci-Fi Channel has renewed The Expense for season... Or Expense. The Expense, a movie about money. The Expanse... A great, fantastic sci-fi show that I have recently started watching and absolutely love. Me and Ryan will have a full review of Season 1 when that is over here in the next few weeks, so FYI. But it has been renewed for Season 2. So if you weren't sure if you wanted to watch it because you didn't know if it was coming back, it is coming back for at least one more season. So we're going to give it a little early recommendation. Watch The Expanse and The Expense if you need to figure out how to save money.
Yes. Tax time, by the way. So.
Yeah, it's almost tax time. Don't forget to file your taxes. Been hanging out with Wesley Snipes in prison. Narnia is getting a full reboot. The next movie in the series, The Silver Chair, is going to feature all new casts and going to be darker because, you know, everything is darker now. If you're an Narnia fan, congratulations. You get a new movie. Daredevil Season 2 officially has a premiere date. It will premiere March 18th at 12:01. Probably a Thursday, I'm guessing. There was a lot of rumor that it was going to premiere opposite of Batman v Superman, which, whatever, who cares? One's a movie, one's a TV show. A lot of people were like, "That's gonna be competition." No, it's not, because you go see Batman, then you come home and watch Daredevil on Netflix. So hey, best of both worlds. But anyway, that's coming out. We are very excited for that. Something else me and Ryan are very excited for is the Krang has been announced to be a villain on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2.
Yeah, and it seems like the movie is basically, they don't think they're gonna get a third one. So they're just trying to smash in as much as they can, because if you've seen the trailer, there's already like 5 villains in this one. So
yeah, there's no way they're getting.
Jones.
They might get a third one, but I don't care. The first one's stupid, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was stupid fun.
It was really dumb, but it was super fun. So whatever. Let's see here. What else do we have? We got a bunch of people who died. We're gonna talk about that in a second. The Oscar lists are out. We're not even gonna spend any time.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Go to Martian.
There was no black people nominated, which is bullshit, and it's creating quite the stir. I'm sure everyone's heard about it. So if you want to see what the list of Oscar nominees are, go check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know if people really do have a legitimate gripe, or they don't. I think they do personally, but
I hope Fury Road wins Best Picture. Then we can get more awesome Mad Max movies.
You know what? I'm not going to watch it. I am going to boycott the Oscars, but it's because Star Wars did not get nominated for Best Picture, because even though it's not the best movie, I don't care. It should be.
Brian said
Let's see what else we got here. HBO is finally giving Deadwood a movie to wrap up the series. If you've ever watched Deadwood, you know that after season 3, it just ended for no reason whatsoever, and it never got a full, series ending. Well, apparently HBO is finally committed to giving us a movie to wrap it all up. So Deadwood, if you haven't watched it, great series. Now's a good time to check out all 3 seasons, because the movie's coming soon. Let's see, before we get to all the poor people who die, let's see, Tom Cruise and Sophie Boutella, I'm sure I butchered her name, also known as the girl in Kingsman who had the razor blade legs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have officially joined Universal Pictures' upcoming reboot of The Mummy. It is going to be released June 9th, 2017, and Tom Cruise is going to be basically the, what was his name? Brandon Fraser character. And Sophia is going to be the Mummy.
That sounds weird.
Whatever. I like Tom Cruise. I'll watch anything he's in. I don't give a crap. I don't care how many Scientology people he's duped or how many couches he jumped on. He's a great actor. Xena Warrior Princess, if you're a big fan of that, her ongoing series, Adventures? I don't know. They're going to be continuing in comic book form for Dynamite. They have got the license to make comic books about her, and they're going. Apparently, it's going to be set 25 years in the future from the series.
Old Xena?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I watched Xena loosely. I liked Hercules and Xena. They were fun shows, but I never really got into them.
I would watch Hercules and Xena. Was like if I didn't have anything else to do after.
They were fun shows, but yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, there's lots of people I know. My sister's a huge Xena Warrior Princess fan, so I'm sure she'll be really excited. Let's see. What else do we got? Wrapping up here. Let's see. Oh, we forgot some Star Wars news here. Star Wars toys have sold over 500 million worth in 700 million worth in 2015 alone, and that they only started selling them halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm.
That, people, is why they bought the property. Let's be honest. Pee-wee, yes, Pee-wee's coming back, and we got a surprise teaser. We all knew a movie was in the works, but it's going to be airing exclusively on Netflix March 18th, and we shared the trailer on our Facebook page. So if you have not seen it, watch it. You are officially an adult, and it's not uncool to admit that you like Pee Wee Herman, and we all do. Pee Wee's great, so check it out and let us know what you think. We think it's fantastic. There is a tech company called Fixed Stars who has introduced the biggest solid-state drive ever, 13 terabytes.
How many? I have a 1 terabyte hard drive. And I've had this computer for like 3 or 4 years, and I've literally used up like.
Yeah, I'm guessing 13
terabyte. That much space on a 1 terabyte.
Yeah,
13 terabytes is so much freaking shit.
I'm sure that's for businesses or places that, you're talking probably places like YouTube, places that need like massive hard drive space. But yeah, if you want the 13 terabyte solid state drive, it's going to set you back $13,000. So just FYI. Neil Patrick Harris is set to star in Netflix's upcoming series of Unfortunate Events remake. He is going to be the evil Count Olaf. So I, for one, enjoyed I never read the books. I did enjoy the Jim Carrey version of that movie. And, anyway, that's coming. So, hey, when we hear more, we'll let you know. Last few things we got for you guys. Cloverfield has officially released a hidden secret trailer. It came out. Nobody knew it was coming out. It's called 10 Cloverfield Lane. And it's really kind of a strange trailer. I don't really know. But check it out. We put it on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. I don't know if it's going to be a horror movie or a sequel or what, but it's out there.
I should see the first one before I see that.
Yeah, so. I like it. But I like J.J. Abrams, so, that's just me. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got left? And finally, let's see. No, one more thing before finally. Flash Gordon has got a screenwriter. So they have hired the original Thor screenwriter. I don't know his name. But I only mention this because Matthew Vaughn is making it, who did Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class, who I love as a director, and Kingsman. And I love Flash Gordon, so I'm pretty excited about that. Just wanted to say that. Yeah. And if you like Flash Gordon, you should watch Ted. It's a great movie. And sadly, finally, we're going to talk about some unfortunate people who passed away over the last couple of weeks. It seems like Death has been busy. He is going from house to house just taking out old people, unfortunately. First up, the Grizzly Adams actor Dan Haggerty has passed away. A couple of musicians. Eagles, I don't know what he played. I think he was the guitarist?
He was the lead guitar player.
Yeah. Glenn Frey, he also passed away. I am not a huge Eagles fan. I know they did Hotel California. I know there's a lot of people who love his music, but...
My wife is a crazy Eagles fan, so she was very sad.
Well, if you're an Eagles fan, you're probably sad. That guy, he died. David Bowie, he passed away at the age of 69 from cancer. Unfortunately, I do know who David Bowie is, and he touched a lot. A lot of people are in mourning right now over David Bowie's passing.
Mm-hmm. His record sales had gone up what was the thing, about 5,000% or something like that.
Well, he just had a new album that's just sold a bazillion copies already. But I like David Bowie's music. I grew up. I've said many times I grew up in a crazy Christian family, so I wasn't allowed to listen to things like David Bowie. But as I got older,
androgynous alien.
Yeah.
In your household.
Well, as I got older, I definitely listened to his music, and I like Bowie. I mean, honestly, my first real experience with Bowie came from the Labyrinth. So, and his unitard. That's kind of creepy, but, rest in peace, Bowie. I know he touched a lot of people, and he was a pioneer in the field, and he's got a lot of great music. Honestly, my favorite Bowie song is probably Under Pressure with Queen, because I love Queen.
Yep, that's mine. I mean.
But, anyway, sad news for David Bowie fans. He did pass away, and I don't think apparently he had a long battle with cancer. I didn't even know he was sick, but. And the other person who died also at the age of 69 from cancer, definitely impacted me more because I was a big fan of his, is Alan Rickman. Mm-hmm. A lot of people may know him as Severus Snape from the Harry Potter movies. I knew him as Sheriff of Nottingham from
and
Robin Hood and Hans Gruber.
You were allowed to watch Die Hard as a child.
Did you know Die Hard was his first movie?
It was one of the first big ones.
No, it was his first movie.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, dude, it was his first movie. Apparently, he was doing some weird odd jobs, quit his jobs, decided he didn't want to do it anymore, went to become an actor, and got picked up to be Hans Gruber. It was his very first movie. Knocked it out of the park, Hans Gruber. But no, Alan Rickman is a great actor. Everything he's in, I loved every role he's ever played.
Galaxy Quest,
Dogma. He played Metatron in Dogma, and he was great. I also, a little not as popular movie that I absolutely loved because my family's huge into westerns was Quigley Down Under. It had Tom Selleck, and Alan Rickman played an Australian kind of evil landowner. If you have not watched Quigley Down Under, watch it. It's actually a really good movie, but he villains the shit out of it, man. He's so good as a villain in that, and then yeah. So sad news.
And if you're the sentimental type, I think he was in Love Actually or something like that. Some chick flick movie.
Oh, dude, he's been in a ton of movies. If you look at his IMDb page, he's actually done quite a few really good things. But obviously, he's well known for the kind of the genre movies that he's been in. But anyway, everybody's passed away. Good journey on your next adventure, and you shall be missed.
Yes, and thank you for the memories.
Thank you for entertaining us for your short time on this earth and bringing us happiness. So, On that note, it's Comics You Crave, Ryan. We don't have any cool, catchy beat. That was pretty fast considering all that news. I did it all in 24 minutes. That's
pretty amazing, actually.
We had a pretty long intro that we won't normally have because hopefully not everybody on YouTube is going to flag us for inappropriate stuff, and we'll have to talk about it again. But that was pretty impressive.
I'm actually very impressed that we got through all. I was expecting that to be like an hour long. So
no way. We got lots of shit to talk about. Well, we do have some more news. We did tease we have some DC stuff coming up, so do not leave us. We're going to talk. We did not forget about all the Suicide Squad news, the Justice League stuff that came out this week. We are going to talk about that, but we wanted to move on. So, Comics You Crave this week. Ryan, would you like to tell the people what we reviewed? And
Not DC. Dark Horse sent us this comic. Actually, doesn't come out until February 10th.
Hang on. We're gonna turn this into an actual segment, and we're gonna send it to Dark Horse. So. I was drinking, and you called him DC, so we're going to start this one again.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
So show the thing on your screen and stop drinking.
I put it down. I just realized that afterwards. People, see, we don't edit. You guys get the live show. You get all the flaws and everything. All right. So, anyway, on this week on Comics You Crave, Ryan, we have a great comic from Dark Horse Comics. Would you like to tell people what it is?
Yes. We got King's Road, #1. It's on sale February 10th. It's written by Peter Hogan, and let's see, the artwork by Phil Winslade, Staz Johnson, and Staz Johnson's the one that did that cover that Brian was just showing everybody. This is the #1 issue. Is a 42-page one. It's kind of a double-sized issue. Still only $3.99. So that's a nice plus.
48 pages.
48?
Yeah, don't shorten those extra 6.
Yeah, so it was 48 pages. I was looking at another thing. That's a 2. So, let's see. So,
well, what did you think? What was your initial impression?
My initial impression was when I finished reading it, I felt like I was scrolling to go to the next page, and it wouldn't go to the next page, and I was getting pissed off, and I had to re-download it because I thought like maybe there was something wrong, like it didn't download correctly, or it didn't get all of it. And then my second viewing, I scrolled all the way back down, like, oh shit, that was the end. And I don't know if that's a good indication of if I really wanted to read the next one, because it felt like it was short still. Even though it was 48 pages long, it still felt short. Like there was still a lot of the story to tell that you were expecting that was going to be, in that kind of build-up phase. Yeah. So,
well, before we get into too much about the details about our opinion on the comic, for everybody listening, so basically this comic, what it's about is, as you can kind of see the cover, it definitely has a little fantasy look to it. In my opinion, it's kind of a throwback to the 80s fantasy novels and 80s fantasy movies. Basically, it's about an average family who all of a sudden gets kind of brought back into this fantasy world that a guy's brother is killed, and now he's the new king, and there's this magic land that's now kind of merging with the real land.
It's not merging.
Well, it's not merging, but it's
a separate. It's like it's a world that there's a separate world.
It's a separate world, but there's magical creatures that are now coming into the real world, our world, after this new royal family. If we sound a little confused, it's because, to Ryan's point about you kind of wanted more. For one of my big criticisms of this book is, considering it's 48 pages, it's 3 issues. The first issue is 48 pages. It doesn't really explain much. There's a lot of setup without really telling you what it's setting up. So it's in some ways it's a hard comic to review because it doesn't really tell you a lot. Basically, it's a blend of a fantasy and kind of I don't know. It's almost like Narnia to an extent.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of blended. It's a modern world that we live in Earth, but there's also this fantasy world that's got trolls and all kinds of crazy looking monsters and a sorceress witch that
she killed the king. So basically, if I didn't do a good job explaining it, the evil witch kills the king, the current king, and now his brother, who's next in line, is now the king. And so basically,
his brother's been hiding out on Earth because he apparently doesn't want anything to do with the.
It seems like he's on the Earth Witness.
It
seems like he's on the Earth Witness Protection Program. So there's people watching over his kids. His kids have no idea that they're part of some fantasy royal family, but now that he's now the next king in line, the sorceress has sent people to try and kill the new royal family. So unfortunately, like I said, like Ryan was talking about earlier, it's 48 pages. You don't get a lot of setup. You get a lot of setup, but you don't get a lot of answers. You're left very confused after a very big issue. Luckily, because it's only 3 issues, I kind of want to read more because there's enough story there that's intriguing that says, I kind of want to know. To your point, I was hitting the next one because I wanted to see what the next page was.
Yeah.
But it definitely didn't knock it out of the park with its first issue, which really was a double issue.
It was good. It wasn't, I think it's still worth picking up. I think it might be more something that you pick up as a trade instead of a single issue. And like you kind of said earlier about, the 80s, it does kind of have like an 80s artwork kind of feel to it. The lines are a lot, how do you put it? Like the artwork is just a lot more,
it doesn't have the sharp lines. It has almost like a watercolor look to it sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of looks like 80s kind of comic book, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's drawn really well. I like how the characters looks and stuff.
Well, and 80s cartoons too, honestly, if you really want to bring it back. It's definitely got that 80s animated feel to it.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. I mean, it looked nice to me, and the story was, like I said at the very beginning, I got down to the end and I had to read down on it because I thought I didn't get the whole story because I wanted to know what was going to happen next. So
yeah, and I almost feel like the 48 pages was a detriment. I feel like the creator knew that he had a double issue that he had to work with, so he kind of spread. One of the beautiful things about comic books is because you only have a small amount of pages to work with, you tend to move the story along really fast, and you get to the point really quickly, so you can get to where you're going fast. And I feel like this, because it had the extra, it had a lot of. It took its time in developing something that. I think when me and you were talking about it originally, I said it was the longest comic book that felt short.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely true.
But ultimately, I guess at the end of the day, what do we feel? What do we feel about King's Road?
I liked it. I think that if I were to suggest it to someone, I would probably tell them to wait for the trade, just because it has a feel that it'll be something that's better read in a beginning to end. It's kind of sequence, like it's gotta be the whole story, just because it feels like you are kind of getting cut off, and then you're kind of like, oh. So yeah, that's my feel.
All right, well, I would piggyback off what you said, and I completely agree. If you want to read this, my recommendation is to wait for all 3 issues to show up in a trade paperback. And much like a Netflix show, I feel like this was written to be binge read and from start to finish in a complete story. But if you are a diehard fantasy fan and you love the 80s type style fantasy, then pick it up and read it. You'll probably really enjoy it. We did not enjoy it. We also it didn't jump off the pages and go, you have to buy this book today. So it has a decent story. The artwork is cool. It's very original. It's a good comic book. It's the first issue. Unfortunately, it's not a great comic book, but I am intrigued by the story, and I would say definitely give it a read when it comes out on trade paperback, unless you are a huge fan of 80s fantasy.
Blended fantasy and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's got a good story, and like I want to read it, but it's something that I definitely, for just how I like to read stuff, I have to have the whole trade.
All right. So as of right now, the first issue comes out when?
February 10th.
February 10th. You can get it for $3.99, and it will be available at your local comic book stop or on digital. Dark Horse Comics.
Dark Horse Digital. I get all my comic books Dark Horse Digital now.
Yep. Me too. It's the best way to do it. I do enjoy my trade. I don't have enough space to have like a single issues anymore, so I do enjoy trades. But on that note, there you go. Let us know if you do read it and what you think about it, and if you recommend it or not.
First, and we got to thank Dark Horse for sending it to us to review. So
yeah, thank you very much, Dark Horse. We appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. On that note, we have so next up we have a new segment. We haven't quite figured out exactly what we're going to call it yet, but our working title right now is called Craptastic or Just Plain Crap. Basically, it's a new segment where me and Ryan watch movies that are, critical flops or people have said are crappy, and we decide whether it's a movie like Starship Troopers that was critically panned but was really entertaining, or if it's a movie that's just flat out bad. So this week, what do we watch, Ryan?
So Netflix has this movie that keeps showing up on the trending and popular, and apparently people really like it, called The Ridiculous Six. It's an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh.
Adam Sandler plays a white guy that has been raised by Apache Indians, and it has some of his buddies in it, like
everybody.
Yeah, everyone that's always in his movies. Rob Schneider plays a Mexican guy with that has a donkey or a burro that's with him everywhere, that likes to fart and have explosive poop on people. This movie was terrible, and
well, the movie basically follows Adam Sandler's dad is kidnapped. He finally meets his dad at one day out of nowhere, and his dad is kidnapped, and he goes to try and save him, and along the way finds 5 of his brothers, which make the Ridiculous Six, and they need money, so they all start robbing banks and become a you know what? I'm not going to describe anymore. Brian's right. This movie's terrible.
Yeah, it's a typical Adam Sandler movie where it starts off like trying to be like the old school funny that kind of made him popular, and then halfway through it tries to like redeem itself, and it tries to get some little serious, throws in a couple of serious plot points, or it'll just kind of get more off the wall, and then the very end, like, it's always it's gotta be a super serious ending, and in every point it was just terrible. I mean, even a lot of the brothers were just dumb, and
the problem is it really tried to be parody, in my opinion. I kept watching the movie and I kept thinking of Blazing Saddles, but I kept thinking about how Blazing Saddles did it right. This movie tries to parody, but most of the time it just ends up being either not funny or even kind of racist, honestly. I mean,
Blazing Saddles uses the N-word a lot in that movie, and it never came off as racist.
Yeah, I mean,
This movie doesn't use that kind of language, and it still just comes off racist. I mean, Adam Sandler playing a guy that grew up with the Apache Indians. Well, the whole premise of that is racist.
Well, honestly, okay, the fact that he's a white guy raised by Indians isn't racist. The problem that I had with him is that all the other Indians are idiots. Like, he's like the best of everything. I mean, it's like, come on. Just because you're raised by Apaches and you maybe have special, I'm okay, it's a comedy. I'm okay with saying that the Indians taught you special powers. Okay, that's fine. But don't make the rest of the Indians look like complete idiots, and you are the only special one of the group. And it's just, Schneider playing a Mexican by himself isn't racist, but the way he plays a Mexican is. And like Terry Crews, he keeps pointing out like, hey, you guys know I'm black, right? And we're like, yes, Terry Crews, we know you're black. And it's just...
But he can play the piano with his dick.
Yeah, so. That was kind of funny, but
yeah,
this movie is not devoid of humor. There is some funny parts to it, like the Left Eye Gang. I actually thought they were really funny.
Yeah, the Left Eye Gang is a gang that they say that they took out their whole left eye, and they all have a patch.
Yeah,
over their eye. And they said, yeah, we took out our left eyes to show our dedication to the gang.
Yeah. Steve Zahn is particularly funny in that, and they had a few cameos that were kind of funny. The poker game, David Spade as General Custer. I don't know why that was funny, but it really just kind of was. And,
Mark Twain as a black white guy.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice as Mark Twain though was great. That was really good.
Yeah, when the part where he said, like, yo guys, yo guys, check this shit out. I'm writing this book, and it's gonna be Huck Finn, and he's gonna be on a raft with a black guy. White people are gonna lose their shit and start buying this book.
And then it's Blake Shelton as Wyatt Earp. He's like, woo! And he shoots it like this bird in midair. I mean, there is a few parts in this movie that is funny. I'm not going to say the movie is completely devoid of humor, but it is far, far, few and far between. And most of the time, it's just not funny. It's borderline racist. And it's too bad because there is so many good cameos in this movie, and it could have been so much funnier than it was. I know I liked Adam Sandler. I enjoy a lot of his movies. I don't know what happened to him, but it's just not funny anymore. And this movie also tonally doesn't know what kind of movie it wants to be. It wants to be a parody. It wants to be slapstick, but at times it also wants to be really serious. And I don't...
Adam Sandler just got too used to people just coming up to his house and just dumping a truckload of money on his yard and asking him to do something funny. Yeah. That he just doesn't know how to do it anymore.
But but like you said, for the most part, this movie, honestly, it's kind of offensive. It's not really that funny, and there's a lot of other Westerns that are much funnier that are trying to do the exact same that this does, and they do it better. So, for me and Ryan, we'd have to say, is this craptastic or just plain crap? Well, this is just a big, plain pile of steaming crap.
Huge crap.
Huge turd.
Do not add anything to the Netflix. Don't put it on your list or anything like that. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
Yeah, so if you do, watch it at your own risk, and do not blame me or Ryan. We have warned you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't even be curious that because we're talking about it.
Yeah,
just don't watch it. The last 20 minutes is a waste of your life.
Oh god, the end is so It's so bad. The movie's terrible. It is bad, people. It is really bad. Don't watch it. Do not watch it. I don't know. Anything else to say about it? No? Yeah. Fuck you, Adam Sandler, for making terrible, not funny, borderline racist movies. Not cool. If you have a craptastic movie that you would like us to watch, please feel free to let us know. If there's a movie that you want to know if it's craptastic or just plain crap, for you guys, will watch it. So let us know.
As long as it's on Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah, we're not paying for it, and it's got to be like not a porno. We're not watching like some weird.
Yeah, I don't need my wife divorcing me because you guys want to be
Yeah, we're not getting paid yet for this. If we finally start getting paid and that's a segment, well, we can sell that to our wives, but we're not watching some weird porno just because you guys want to see if it's a bad movie or not. It's a bad movie. Just know. But yeah, if there's a movie you'd like to see us, if there's something you've been wondering if it's good or not, let us know. We'd be more than happy to watch it. So, on that note, we'll move to our Q&A segment. We have a lot of questions. We'll try and blow through some of them. We promised last week a lot of people gave us questions that we did answer. Unfortunately, they never aired, so we promised everybody that we would answer them again.
So, I got mine up. Are you ready to do it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you read yours off first.
All right, so we got Wilma from Washington. She wants to know if you could sit down and share a beer and BS with any sports star, past or present, who would it be, and what's the first thing you'd ask or discuss?
I'll go first, I guess, since you read the question. Ken Griffey Jr., man. I mean, I'm from Seattle. Obviously, he's a local legend here. I mean, he's kind of a legend worldwide in general. But watching him as a kid, growing up watching the kid play baseball, the guy always seemed to always know how to have fun and enjoy what he did. So if I could sit down and have a beer with him, I would love to sit and pick his brain about how you managed to be the most popular player of your generation and yet still always have fun. Guy always had his hat turned on backwards, never let the noise get to him, never became this guy who was a big jerk to everybody. Everybody who talks about him loves the guy. I would love to know how he managed to keep just be a normal guy but yet be so famous. So, when we're famous, that way we can relate to that. That way we can keep our normalcy.
I would go with Muhammad Ali, and I would just talk to him about how he did all that shit. I mean, especially, when he was first getting started with all the, Cassius Clay, changing his name to Muhammad. He seems like obviously his story is like such a has a huge impact. But I think he would be very interesting. A young Muhammad Ali before he got all brain damaged would be an interesting person to talk to. So let's see, Matt from Utah. He wants to know who does your taxes.
My wife and TurboTax.
And I get my taxes done by Cammie at Pro Accounting.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Been
Cammie,
using her
you
for
are awesome. If you'd like an official sponsorship for the Geek Dad Report, feel free to hit Ryan or myself up at GeekDadReport.com or
I'll be emailing her.
gmail.com.
I'm not paying my taxes this year. I just did it.
Nice.
My taxes are covered now.
I wonder do you think he meant like who does the Geek Dad Report taxes? Nobody, because we don't make any money.
Yes. Sadly. I see Joyce from Washington. Hi, Mom. How has your childhood prepared you for what you are doing right now?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yes, that is a total loaded mom question to try and... Yeah, so do you want to start?
Joyce, because you are family, I'm going to say, gosh darn it. That was a gosh darn loaded question. Well,
swearing's fine in my family.
That's true. I don't want to swear at your mom. That's so rude. How's my childhood? Well, my crappy childhood growing up has prepared me for the adversity of adulthood. No, I will say moving around a lot definitely. Anybody who knows me knows that if you don't know me, I moved around a lot. I was an Army brat and then a child of multiple divorces, so we moved a whole lot. So doing that, you learn a couple things in life. You learn, one, if you don't talk and you don't get a personality real quick and be outgoing, you are never going to have any friends. So part of the reason I can kind of do what I'm doing now and have been successful later in life is partially because of the fact that I learned how to talk to people and not be afraid to be outgoing and say what's on my mind. So
see, I had a terrible childhood.
Didn't your mom beat you all the time?
What's that?
Didn't one of your parents beat you all the time?
Oh, both of them.
They withheld food from you and didn't let you play video games. It's terrible.
No, there's like a cage that you had to sit in. That was
man, you got the cage
in the yard where they pull up, like the underground cavern. And you had to go sit in that.
It's like the people under the stairs.
Yeah. So that was my childhood. Moving on. No, I had a great childhood. I got to spend every summer on the Columbia River, and we didn't really want for a lot of things. So cool. It was a good job, Mom, if that's what you were looking for.
I would say that Ryan's childhood prepared him to be a good judge of character, which is why we're friends.
Yes. Very much. Eric from... Shoot, where does Eric live? I think he's in Washington.
We're going to say he lives on the moon. Eric from the moon.
Eric lives on the moon.
Good job,
He
Eric.
wants to know what Star Wars, the Black Series, like your Rey, figures do you think are too mass-produced, and which do you think will hold the most value? So this is kind of a collector's question.
I'm going to say this one right here holds the most value because it is the hardest one to find.
Oh, yeah.
The most mass-produced, I'm just going to go with what I've seen on the shelves a ton, is unfortunately the Finn. Finn is that guy. Who is... Hang on a second. My daughter has joined the show. Honey, what are you doing?
Yes. Oh, this is the Geek Dad Report plus Child Show now. This is our first live guest.
Honey, go upstairs, Mama's.
And,
okay? Mama will help you, okay?
So I think Kylo Ren kind of been a lot of overproduced.
All right, I got
to
help put on a diaper.
Okay, so you go do that.
I'll be right back. See, we do have kids, people. I'll be right back.
Yes. So you better do that quickly. So Kylo Ren's been mass-produced. Man, this is gonna get really crappy really fast. I do not know anything about Star Wars toys, so I can't really add too much weight on that other than what I've been reading on the internet. Rey has been getting the shafts on a lot of stuff, and hopefully people are buying with their wallets and getting that character well purchased. This is just going to go way downhill until Brian comes back because he left me at a really shitty spot. We have no news.
I'm back.
And oh my God, you changed that diaper already?
Dude, it was fast.
Did you even put on a diaper?
Well, I'm also surprised. It took 41.5 episodes for that to happen, so.
Yes.
Sorry, people. We just decided not to ever edit or do anything, so you get the live version. Where are you at? Are you still rambling about questions?
Dude, I was just rambling.
All right, did you answer the collector's question?
Questions, because I was done with mine. I had nothing left.
All right, so to answer that question, Ray is probably going to be the most collectible one. However, they are mass-producing most, and unfortunately, I think Finn is going to be the least collected one. If you're looking for something that's going to hold its value, it's probably some character we've never heard of that got like one in the series and has never been produced again. Those are usually the ones that are the rarest. So,
BB-8.
BB-8? Dude, this BB... this goes to show how much they thought of Ray action figures. Ray is the only figure that actually comes with a second figure. Look at that. That BB-8 by itself would sell.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else comes with anything else, but all the idiots up at corporate headquarters said, we better put something else with her or nobody will buy it. Morons. Anyway, so we have multiple questions from Brian, Chris, and Phil because they left one this week and next week, so I will read them, and then we will also answer their second questions. So first up, Brian from Washington wants to know, other than seeing Star Wars, what was our favorite thing that we did during break?
I got to spend a lot of time with my kids from them being home from school. We played a lot of video games. My son and I started a hockey dynasty with the Buffalo Sabres. And I just got to spend a lot of time being a dad and doing a bunch of dumb shit with the kids. So that's what they're for.
Well, that was also my favorite thing I did during the break, but in the interest of not saying the exact same thing you said, I got to catch up on a lot of shows and drink a lot.
Yeah, we're almost caught up on Supergirl, so.
Yeah, I got caught up on a ton of things, read a whole bunch of books, all these cool, I got a whole bunch of new recommendations. We had a cool, fun couple meetings. That was fun.
Yes.
Hung out with my friend Brian and went and saw Star Wars. That was pretty cool. Chris from Washington wants to know, are we surprised that a recent report says that Star Wars The Force Awakens will not break Avatar's global box office record? No, I am not surprised. It is slowed down drastically.
Yes.
I do not know if it's even going to break Titanic's second place record.
And China apparently was not huge, so.
No, it's done about 100 million in China so far, which isn't terrible, but it's definitely underperforming in China. Unfortunately, the Chinese market just has not had the time to really, get to like Star Wars. They just recently was introduced to the original trilogy, I want to say this summer. So, I mean, it's not like, or last summer, not like they've had a lot of time to really fall in love with Star Wars. Unfortunately, I think Star Wars is kind of an American thing.
American and definitely Western Europe.
Yeah, Western Europe is big fans. Obviously, United States, $900 million almost. So it's huge around the world, but at home, it's definitely its biggest entity. So it's not going to break Avatar. Is that sad news? I don't know. I mean, I was kind of hoping it would, but whatever. I'm sure. But we're going to get more Cat People movies coming out soon that nobody wants to see. Phil from Washington with the great questions as always. What is worse, stepping in a pile of puppy poop at 3:30 in the morning or stepping in potty training toddler poop at 3 in the morning? He's asking for some super cool guy he knows.
Well, yeah, I think I kind of want to know more how your kids just walking around pooping around the house. So
yeah, that's just bad parenting.
Yeah, that's terrible, Phil.
We're not judging you, Phil, because you're asking for a friend that you know, this guy you know. You say he's super awesome, but he's obviously not that super awesome if his kids are pooping on the floor at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, stepping in toddler poop is infinitely worse than dog
poop.
You
can just rub its face in it. You can't
rub it. Well, I mean, stepping in
kids...
any kind of poop is not cool, but dog poop is like, it's probably like Nutri-Grain nuggets that they're eating. Kids, you don't know what they're eating.
Kids poop at that age is just like, yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, they could be licking like the toilet brush cleaner for all you know. I mean, it's gross. We recommend not stepping in any poop, or at least putting diapers on your children.
Yes.
Let's see here. Kyle from Virginia is checking in. He hasn't checked in a while. He wants to know. Let's see here. He has 2 questions. Will Deadpool end up being the ultimate rom-com? Yes.
Yes.
Moving on. And which one of you, I'm guessing he means us, has the better collection of comics, cards, action figures, or collector edition movies?
Movies? Or just like everything? If you were to answer every single one of those things, look behind Brian right now and guess who has the most stuff.
Oh, I forgot Finn. Look, there's a spot for him right there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He got stolen.
Yeah, Ryan has an impressive collection. However, I am a almost hoarder when it comes to collecting cool stuff, and I have a lot of things. So I'm gonna say by default that I have the best collection. But
if I had room, like I don't even like you guys can see like my wall. I'm in an unfinished part of my house, so if I had walls and actual space to put in shelving units, then I could probably get a decent amount of stuff, but I just don't have the space for it, so I don't buy them. I don't get the cool stuff like Brian.
Well, yeah, no, you don't. Well, thank you, Kyle, for your awesome question. Let's see, here we go. Hang on. We got another question. Moving on here. We got a question from Einer, who hasn't given us a question. He's from Washington. He hasn't given us a question since I think our very first episode. So welcome back, Einer. He took a picture of a Rainier beer can holding a tab, and he wants to know, how can he be stupid enough to drop the tab of an aluminum beer can into the can and then somehow still manage to drink it?
Well, you don't have to like guzzle the whole thing down. You can be safe enough.
Einer, I'm going to say that me and Ryan we're going to give you a pass. We don't think that you're stupid. We feel that you dropped in there. You probably just, while you were enjoying your beverage, probably forgot about it. I mean, unless now if you were shotgunning the beer, well, then that's on you. But
it's sometimes you play with the tab and it breaks off.
Yeah. The important part is that since you have the tab in your hand, that you did not swallow the tab. So, I say no harm, no foul.
Yeah, you don't have to poop out a tab now, so that's good.
Next time, Iron, don't play with your tab. Just leave your tab alone. I've heard if you play with your tab more than 3 times, your beer goes blind. So that's all I'm saying.
Yes. You do not want a blind beer.
You do not want a blind beer, so don't just leave it alone.
Yeah, stop playing with it.
Yeah.
Stop wiggling it back and forth. That's a bad idea.
All right, so let's see here. And we have a couple more questions from Phil and Brian from Washington. And this is actually going to piggyback us into we're going to do a special little DC segment after this, but we figured we'd do it after the questions because people wanted to know, so we'll talk about it in a second. Phil wants to know, he says he only knows about Batman and Superman from the movies. He wants to know about Wonder Woman. Is she at Amazon? How come she doesn't look like Shakira?
He
wants to know who she is. He also wants to know who Aquaman and Cyborg is. He wants to know if Cyborg is one of the Supermans that came around like Shaquille O'Neal Steel when Doomsday killed Superman. No, we'll get into that in a minute. He says we're going to get a lot he has all these DC questions because he's super stoked for the movies, but he knows nothing about the character. So we will talk about that. And also Brian from Washington wants to know, with all the DC movie news this week, what are a few things that we are excited about and a few things that we're disappointed about? So we'll start with Brian's comment. So, little bit of, I guess we'll talk about it first. This week, some big DC movie news dropped. Obviously, they talked a little bit about, CW did a special that was about the Justice League, and Jeff Johns was on there giving out all kinds of information about the upcoming movies. They had a cool clip of the Wonder Woman movie that's coming out next year. They had some more stuff on Batman, Superman. They talked a lot about Justice League. They released a cool piece of concept art from the upcoming movie that showed the Justice League. They talked about the Green Lantern Corps, about how they're going to be part of Justice League and their future in the DC Extended Universe. So the first thing I will say...
And for people that don't know, Jeff Johns is one of the big writers for DC. Like he writes a lot of like the really big comics for DC.
Yeah, and he's a great author, and he's kind of been, as far as the movie universe is going, he's not Kevin Feige, but he's from Marvel, but he's definitely the guy who's kind of in charge of helping link the stories throughout the universe. He's helping craft this universe that we're getting for the DC universe. So anybody who thinks that it's a rudderless ship and they're just making movies and they're trying to put them together, that's not the case. They are definitely trying to build a DC universe with all its characters. So, and also too, I think I mentioned earlier, a brand new Suicide Squad trailer released. And so to answer Brian's question, my highlight I would have to say was that Suicide Squad trailer. It is awesome.
Yeah. When it starts off with Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, and especially when they get to the Wayne's World headbanging part, the part that everybody knows, that's when the trailer really starts to kind of kick off. And I watched it 3 times in succession just because it was so good.
If you do not know what we are talking about, we posted on the Facebook page. Take a second and go watch it. Pause this, watch it, come back and finish, because I'm telling you, it is. I don't know how this movie is going to be. I think it's going to be good, but this trailer is one of the most fun, exciting trailers I've seen in a long time. The Batman v Superman movie has taken a lot of heat for its trailer that came out because it wasn't a great trailer as far as the way it was set up, and rightfully so. I mean, it wasn't a normal trailer. This is how you do a trailer right. I mean, this is the Suicide Squad trailer. Like you said, the Bohemian Rhapsody, all the scenes, they showed just the right stuff that you want to see about this movie. Like Harley Quinn, they're all walking down, all the Suicide Squad's walking down the street. She stops, she breaks this window, she steals a purse, and the guy looks at her, the leader of the Suicide Squad, the good guy, and he goes, "What are you doing?" She goes, "What? We're bad guys. This is what we do." And it's just like...
And if you don't know, the Suicide Squad is essentially, they take all the bad guys that are locked up in prison, and they basically say, "We'll reduce your sentence, but you got to go on this mission that pretty much you could die.
Suicide mission.
And if you complete it, then we'll reduce your sentence."
Yeah, and then they put a bomb in the back of their neck, so if they run away, they blow their heads off. But it's a dark property. I'm really excited that DC took a risk. I know a lot of people criticize DC. There's a lot of hate right now for the DC universe. I don't quite get it, because I think it's cool they're doing something different than Marvel. I don't want to see another Marvel. I want to see something different. And I really like that. I mean, think about it. They did Man of Steel, which kicked off the universe. You got, obviously, Batman versus Superman, which is a big one. But then they went with something completely out of the norm. They could have easily done a Flash movie or a Wonder Woman movie. Instead, they did the Suicide Squad, which a lot of people don't even know. You had to explain it because people don't even know what it is.
And it's got a lot of DC villains that a lot of people...
Batman in it.
I mean, a lot of people know who Harley Quinn is.
Yeah, she's great.
And she's great in the trailer.
I do have to admit, the part where Captain Boomerang is hiding behind the car trying to pound a beer. This movie is going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be dark, and it's going to be fun. I think the trailer did a great job of showing that. I was excited before, but now I was kind of a skeptical excitement. Like, I think this is going to be good. I'm excited to see it, but I'll wait. After this trailer, I'm ready. I am ready to see this movie. Yes. I am very excited for it. I think it's going to be really good. So that's probably, Brian, to answer your question, that's my probably high. What I didn't like, probably I would have to say, is we didn't have any kind of footage at all, any kind of casting news, any kind of real news on the Green Lantern Corps. I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern comic books. I love Hal Jordan. I love Jonathan Stewart, but it's not Jonathan Stewart. John Stewart. I really like what those comic books have to offer, and so I was kind of hopeful that we would get more information on what the movie's going to be about, and they're part of the Justice League. We didn't get much. I'm also disappointed that we still don't have a full trailer yet for Wonder Woman. I know it doesn't come out to 2017, but...
It just started filming in November.
Yeah, I know.
It's been like less than 2 months.
I don't care.
Stop being like, "Well, they're filming. I want to see parts of it."
I am really excited for Wonder Woman. My daughter gets so excited every time she sees Wonder Woman on screen, and
I'm sure they'll fuck up the merchandising somehow.
Wonder Woman, and all they're gonna have is like Chris Pine dolls. It's gonna be like, really, but. Yeah, God, I hope not. No, you know what? DC's always done a pretty good job of having female. You can still go find Supergirl toys and Wonder Woman toys, but they did show. I mean, I guess they did show what you were saying. They did show about a minute clip of clips of the movie, and it looks cool. It looks interesting. I think some people are gonna have an issue with it because it's a World War I setting, so it's weird seeing Wonder Woman fighting not Nazis, but Germans. So, but I thought it looked good.
She does come into our world. She assumed like a different persona, and I don't really know. I'm kind of like with Phil. I'm still kind of learning a lot about the DC characters. So,
well, let's dive into that a little bit then, since you're so beautifully transitioned us into it. So to answer your question, Phil, I know he had on our Facebook page, we'd posted the picture of the Justice League, and he wanted to know who the characters were. So kind of going from left to right, if you look at the picture, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to our Facebook page. We put the Justice League concept art. This is right from Warner Brothers, so this is kind of their drawn version of the team that we're going to see in the movie. And so they had, starting with Aquaman, Jason Momoa is going to play Aquaman, Arthur Curry. Now, mind you, there's a lot of different versions of some of these characters because they've redone some of their origin stories for the new 52 versus the old 52. So what I explained may not be 100% complete with every origin story, but it's the ones that I know. So Arthur Curry is Aquaman, is the king of Atlantis, didn't start as the king of Atlantis. His father is actually human. His mother was the queen of Atlantis. She had a fling with the father. Because he was a halfling, Arthur Curry, they decided to raise him as a human. Later in life, he found out that he was actually the king of Atlantis when the old king dies, and a war breaks out, and eventually he claims his throne. So I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. Arthur Curry's powers is he can communicate with animals. He obviously can breathe underwater because he is he's an Atlantean, which is like half fish. I don't know. He looks human, but he can breathe underwater. He can swim really fast, and he commands the ocean. So he's actually a pretty powerful character when you think about considering most of the world is covered in water. So that's his power. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to portray him in the movie. I'm pretty sure it'd be something along those lines. Then they show Cyborg. Cyborg, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to go with his origin story, but Cyborg is Victor Stone. He was a normal late teens, early 20s guy in high school, college, playing football. His dad was a really smart, like, physicist. Scientist working on nanotechnology. Victor was also very smart, but he was visiting his father one day in a lab. There was a lab explosion, like most comic book heroes start, and he was injured very badly, and so his father, to save him, injected him with this nanotech, and the nanotech ended up creating him mostly a cyborg body. So he's human, but he's mostly created by, like I said, nanotechnology, which allows him to turn his arm into a gun or interface with computers, or think Terminator, but human.
Yeah, he's basically like the Terminator, but with like a Wi-Fi Bluetooth capability of hacking into stuff. He doesn't have to like sit at a terminal or plug into it. He just like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they do his movie or in the Justice League how much they're going to interface that. Whether he's going to be encased whether he's going to look like. Actually, I think RoboCop. RoboCop's a good example of kind of what Cyborg is. Obviously, he's a much more advanced version of RoboCop, but it'll be interesting to see if they allow him to look human a lot of the times and then kind of go into battle mode and then. Or if they're going to make him wear a suit the entire time and look like part robot. So he's actually a pretty cool character. He wasn't one of the original members of Justice League. He is one of the members of Justice League in the New 52. So he's definitely more of he's become popular over the years versus, way back in the day. But he's a pretty cool character. And he's one that's kind of necessary in an age when we have so much computer. He's the guy who's able to hack into computers and teleport. And he takes the boom box technology, which is getting really dorky, is Darkseid's ability that you can go places. You can transport from here to there. So, he has that technology. So in the comic books, he allows the Justice League to go from one place to the next really quickly. So, what he does, I don't really know yet in this movie, but they haven't released a lot about him, but that's who Cyborg is. And then obviously Batman and Superman, we all know who they are. At least I hope you do. Batman, Bruce Wayne, parents were killed, became a super ninja who has lots of money and cool gadgets. Superman, last son of Krypton, superpowers, ultimate badass, super goody two-shoes. And then Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman, I'm going to butcher some of the names because I will. But so Wonder Woman, depending on which origin story you go with, if you go with the recent, we'll go with the recent one. She found out she's actually the daughter of Zeus. So basically, Zeus in the old comic books had a race, the Amazons. They're from Greek mythology. You know, they were on an island. Oh God, it's like
The Isle of
Thera. I can't remember the name. I was gonna wiki it before I came here, but anyway, let's just say they were on an island like Lost. But they were on an island that man could not see, and it was an island full of only female Amazons. And their job for the longest time was to, you know, they helped protect the world of man. You know, they fought battles and yada yada yada. So the original origin story of Wonder Woman is that Ares hated the Amazons because Zeus loved them and protected them, and so Ares, the god of war, decided to declare war on the Amazons and killed a lot of Amazons. So Hera, I think it's Hera. No, it's not Hera. God, I cannot remember. So anyway, Wonder Woman's mother, whose name I totally forgot, she was going to kill Ares, and she brokered a deal with Zeus because Zeus was like, "You're not going to kill my son." She's like, "Why not? He killed all my Amazons." And he's like, "Well, I will give you a child that will, you know, serve as a sign that Ares will never attack you again." So he gives her a child, makes it out of clay like a lot of the old, you know, Greek mythologies gods do, and that was Wonder Woman. So Princess Diana grew up an Amazon, total badass. Well, she was intrigued by the world of man. Steve Trevor. Yeah, Steve Trevor. He crash lands. He's an Air Force pilot. Crash lands on the island. They want to kill him. She doesn't kill him. She's intrigued by man. She agrees to go back with him to the real world and become, you know, the liaison and help. She decides to start, you know, their job was to protect man. Amazonian women didn't want anything to do with the wars of man, so they hid on the island. So Princess Diana decided that she was going to once again take up the quest to protect man. So it looks like this movie's actually going to keep that up. Steve Trevor looks like he's a pilot. It looks like he's, you know, Wonder Woman goes back with him to help fight the wars of man. So basically,
kind of a period piece movie. So
yeah, it's gonna be a period piece that goes into the future. I'm guessing probably Captain America, a lot like the first Captain America, First Avenger. But yeah, basically, in a nutshell, who is Wonder Woman? She can fly. She's very strong. She's almost invincible. She is by far the biggest badass. She has trained her entire life in hand-to-hand combat. She is the best fighter in the DC universe, at least in the movie universe. So, what?
Does she have a hand shield?
She has a shield. She has a sword. She has a lasso that if it wraps you up, it makes you tell the truth. She has bulletproof gauntlets that she can bounce off bullets. And she has an invisible jet, which I don't really know why because she flies, but I don't know if they're going to have the invisible jet in the movie. So your guess is as good as mine.
That would very be cost effective.
You know, I'm sure I've left some stuff out. If that does not explain Wonder Woman enough to you guys, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, and I'd be more than happy to carry on the conversation. The last person in the picture was Flash. Barry Allen is going to be Flash. He got struck by lightning and chemicals, and it gave him access to the Speed Force. Yeah, come on. If you don't know Flash, fastest man alive, people. Super fast. And there's a whole bunch more, like I said, the Speed Force and a lot of other things that I could go really nerdy.
The comedic guy?
What?
Is Flash the more comedic guy on the Justice League, or is that Green Lantern?
Flash is funny. Green Lantern's kind of got that arrogant funny, where Flash is kind of more comical funny, I guess. There's no slapstick part of. I would definitely say Hal Jordan and Barry Allen are kind of provide the comic relief, but they're not really funny characters. They have a good sense of humor, and Flash is kind of a smartass. I do feel that this Flash is going to be the smartass of this movie, but we'll see. But he's a forensic scientist in real life, smart guy, and he's the fastest man alive. So if you want to know more about Flash, like Ryan said, watch the CW show. It is fantastic. We suggest watching season 1. And if you still have questions, I will recommend certain comics that you can read, or you can carry on the conversation with me after the show.
Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah, Flashpoint Paradox.
Watch the movie.
Oh,
DC animated Flashpoint Paradox.
Flash is a great character. You know what, people? I want to say something real quick to end our DC conversation. I will. Did we forget anything from the show? I think we talked about Suicide Squad, Justice League, Wonder Woman. They have a cool new logo. We're really excited for the movies that are coming out. Batman v Superman's here in a couple months, and I think it's going to be epic. But I'd like to say a little side note. I'm going to take only just a minute, and I'll say this quick. But there's a lot of hate right now going out for the DC universe, and I don't really know why. DC has great complex characters that are they're human in a lot of ways. Even though they have fantastic powers that are unbelievable, they're the most human of the characters. I love Marvel. Marvel makes great stuff. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been epic. It has taken nerddom to a level that we only as children dreamed of. I mean, it is amazing. It is the golden age to be a fan of comic books and movies. They are great. DC is not trying to replace Marvel. It is trying to do something different and is trying to bring their own universe. Yes, is it darker? Is it grimmer? Yes, because the DC universe is darker. It is grimmer. It is more of an adult.
The universe has been like that since the beginning.
One of the Green Lanterns came home and his girlfriend was killed and folded in half in his refrigerator. And this is in a comic book. They have never been shied away from violence. They've never shied away from adult topics. They've never shied away from their characters, almost their godlike qualities and how they interact with man. And they've always been darker, but they've always been really, really good. If you've never given DC a chance, give this new Warner Brothers universe a chance before you just say, that trailer looked like crap and I'm not watching this. I think you're going to be surprised at how much you might enjoy it if you just open your mind. You can be a fan of both Marvel and DC, and no one's going to hold it against you. So, I'm super excited for DC. I've always been a bigger DC fan than a Marvel, and I absolutely love all the stuff that Marvel does. I think they can almost do no wrong. But I'm excited. This is going to be something different. This isn't going to be the same. It's going to be something different. And if we as comic book fans want people to keep making movies, they have to be different. They can't just keep being the same thing over and over, or else we're not going to enjoy them anymore. So give it a chance.
And that's why we're getting a rated R Deadpool.
And we live in a world where we are getting a rated R Deadpool, people. Be excited. Let's get rid of the hate. No more bashing these comic book things, except for Fantastic Four, because that needs to go back to Marvel. Yeah. But other than that, let's enjoy this, and let's give the Warner Brothers DC universe a chance before people just decide they're not going to like it. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so that leaves our last segment. We'll make it quick. Our recommendations are what you should or should not waste your time doing this week. Ryan, as always, would you like to go first?
I've been hearing a lot about the Dub Smash app, and I saw a bunch of famous people using it, and I figured, why not? I'll just see what it's all about. So I downloaded it, tried it. It's kind of fun. I mean, you'll probably do it more like within the first time you use it than you do for any other time, but it's fun if you just kind of want to like find video clips and record yourself, lip syncing to them. So Dub Smash.
All right, check it out, Dub Smash. I'm guessing you can download it on iOS or Google Play.
Yeah, you can get it on iOS, Android devices. So
my recommendation is to get a Kylo Ren lightsaber. Now, that's not really my recommendation, but I haven't had a chance to show off my new lightsaber that I got over the holiday. Look at this thing. It's amazing.
You got to show off your toys, man.
Yeah, I'll show it off later. All
Sport
right.
of life.
I just had to make sure I got it on this episode. All right. My official recommendation is the Star Wars The Force Awakens, the Visual Dictionary. I think that's what it's called.
Did you say dictionary?
Dictionary, the picture book.
Yes.
Not very big. You can blow through it pretty quick, but this thing is jam-packed full of information and pretty cool artwork. So like right here, this is the new Star Wars universe, and these are all the planets that got blown up. And this tells everything that happened in the last movie, so you're not confused. So when you watch the movie and you go, wait a minute, why is the Resistance only like 6 ships? This tells you.
Mm-hmm.
Why this thing right here?
It's not a part of the Republic anymore.
Yeah. So, but I mean, considering, like I said, it's not a very thick book. Oh, it's Rey, my favorite character. If you want to know why she's my favorite character, watch our special Force Awakens that we did on GeekDadReport. Anyway, like I said, it's not a very big book. It retails for $11.99 on Amazon, but it's got a ton of cool stuff in here. It gives you a really good in-depth look at some of the things you didn't even know that you needed to know, and it explains all the things you didn't know when you watched the movie. So it's a quick read. You can blow through it, and depending on how fast you're a reader, you can blow through it really in one sitting if you want to. But I highly recommend it, man. The artwork's great. It's easy to read, and it's fun. Plus, the cool thing is, if you got kids like we do, as soon as I was done with him, my kids picked it up and were like, this is cool, and they just wanted to know more about it. So it's yet another entry point into the Star Wars universe. So plus, it's got cool-ass Kylo Ren right on the front.
Where'd you pick it up at?
Kylo Ren has a cool lightsaber like this one. I got it off Amazon. You can get it at pretty much any bookstore that still exists, or you can pick it up on Amazon for, I think, $11.99. So, not too expensive. Highly recommend it. It's a good read. It's a good companion to the movie. That's all I
Well,
got.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Well, we should probably let everybody know where they can find us.
Yeah, we are on Facebook at Geek Dad Report. We're on Twitter at Geek Dad Report. Brian is Brian West 53 on Twitter, and I'm Big Bruiser. And we're on Pod Hell Media now.
Yeah, podhellmedia.com. We're also on watchplayread.com.
We're on Watch Play Read. You can find us on iTunes. Yeah. There's a billboard.
We got a billboard downtown suburb of
Paducah, Ohio.
Kentucky. Yeah, it's a big one, so you can't miss it. But also, but seriously, those people, feel free to like us, subscribe us, friend us. On our YouTube channel, we are moving the show now from Watch Play Read shows to the Geek Dad Report. So if you go, you won't pop up in your notifications. So when we post this on our Facebook page and on Watch Play Read, you'll actually have to click on YouTube and just hit subscribe. It will be there. So feel free to give us some feedback on our iTunes. Anything helps. It helps us gain new viewers and new listeners. And if you love our show and you want to see us grow, that's the best way you can do it. We're not asking for any money. We're not asking for you guys to do anything. And you really don't have to like or subscribe us, but it definitely helps us grow the show. So we would appreciate anything you guys do that helps us do that.
And you guys have been awesome. So keep it up.
Our faithful 50. We appreciate it.
50.
So like, subscribe. Tell everybody to friend request us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and hit the little subscribe button. Right now we only have one subscriber on the Geek Dad Report YouTube channel. So I'm hoping by next week we have 50 for our faithful 50. A guy can dream.
Yes.
We'll see. But anyway, like Ryan said, thank you everybody. Sorry for our long hiatus. We promise to be back next week.
And we're gonna punch YouTube in the face if they take this episode down. So
better not.
Better.
And we're gonna try. I think we're gonna try and keep the shows around an hour. We just ran really long because this was a double jam-packed episode of. Yes. We had to cover all the stuff that we got shut down for last week. All right, man. Well, anything else?
Stay classy.
Stay classy, bitches.
Where's that music?
There it is. Take a second. Lightsaber. No, you know what? I'm not going to lightsaber it. Where's my radar? Action figure.
Ain't even a cent to make enough. We was after chasing after stuff that you only find in your dreams of the nights when you're looking up. And I remember so many times it was looking tough. So I wrote an extra rhyme when I took the bus. Cause I knew there'd be a time that would open up, that I get a chance to shine hard if I do it tough. So I did it and put everything in it. Gotta be with it, never stop until I'm grabbing it. The only reason that they hate it cause they see you motivated. They don't